wasn't sure if it's allowed to watch us. You sit across from me, not close, not far, just enough to feel the quiet bend. I don't ask who you are, I don't need the story yet. I listen to the way your chest rises, like the night is teaching you how to stay. Your breathing tells me things your mouth never rushes to say. Where you soften, where you hesitate, where you almost leave. There's a language and pauses, a grammar in the way you wait. And I'm fluent in the moment before words ruin the shape. I learned you slowly, the way shadows learn the wall by staying long enough to become part of it. Your inhale pulls the room closer, your exhale loosens my hands. I wasn't planning on touching you, but my thoughts already did. Silence stretches between us, not empty, just full of things that don't want names yet. I could ask you what you're running from, what keeps you awake, what you want from me, but instead I listen again to the small hesitation in your breath right before it deepens. That's where you are honest. That's where you are honest. I trace that rhythm in my mind, memorize it like a secret door, not to open, just to know it's there. The night doesn't push us, it leans, patient, curious. I feel the heat of you without moving an inch. Feel how close closeness can be without crossing anything. Your breathing changes when you notice mine, and suddenly we're speaking without making a sound. This is where I stay before introductions, be before intentions, before desire learns how to ask. I learn your breathing before your name, because names can leave, but this stays with me. Even when the room forgets, even when the light returns, even when you're gone, I'll remember how you breathed when you were almost mine. We don't sit beside each other, we choose the space that pretends it isn't listening. Your knee angled toward mine, like a question you don't finish, like a thought you leave open on purpose. The room is dim enough to forgive everything. The lamp breathing low, walls learning how to keep secrets. I don't move closer, I don't need to. Distance can be intimate when it knows why it's there. Your sleeve brushes the air, I feel it anyway. My skin imagining things before my hands do. You look at the floor like it might answer you. I look at your mouth, waiting for it not to speak. There's a tension and stillness no one warns you about. change, and I'm not ready to let change interrupt us. So we stay close enough to almost touch, close enough to feel the heat without proving it. Your breath slows when you realize I'm not going anywhere, and neither is this moment. The night stretches its spine outside the window, cars passing like thoughts we decide not to follow. I notice how careful you are with your hands, as if they already know what they could ruin. I notice how careless my heart becomes when nothing happens and everything is allowed. We share a silence that keeps growing teeth, soft ones that bite only if we move. I wanna say your name just to see what it does to us, but I keep it locked inside where it can't rush anything. Your shoulders shift just enough and my body responds before I do. This is the edge I like, the almost, the nearly, the pause that feels intentional, not touching but remembering how it would feel, as if memory itself is already a form of contact. So stay right there where desire doesn't beg it. Wait, stay close enough to almost touch, because sometimes almost is where everything lives. You're quiet in a way that feels intentional, like you folded your words carefully and set them down somewhere safe. We're standing too close for strangers, too still for anything else. Your presence leaning into me without asking permission. I feel your silence before I understand it, the weight of it resting right where my breath begins. It's not empty, it's crowded with things you decided not to say, with moments you're still protecting. Your forehead near my shoulder, your heartbeat choosing a slower rhythm, as if it's listening for mine before it commits. I don't fill the space, I let it press into me, let it tell me where you're tender without making you explain. There's something intimate about not being invited in, but being trusted to stay anyway. Your silence moves subtle, a shift in pressure, like the night adjusting its grip. I can tell when you're thinking of leaving by how your breath tightens. I can tell when you're staying by how it finally lets go. My chest learns your language, the way skin learns warmth, through repetition, through patience. I wonder what would happen if you spoke right now, if your voice would break the spell or deepen it, but you don't. And I'm grateful, because this quiet feels earned, not awkward. Your silence presses closer, not heavy, just certain, as if it knows where it belongs. I feel it settle between my ribs, behind my breath, inside the pause after exhale. There's a safety in the way you don't rush me, in the way you let the choir speak first and last. If you leave, the silence will stay with me, a shape I'll recognize in other rooms. But for now, it's here, pressed against my chest, steady and asking. And I hold it like something alive, like something that trusts me, not to drop it. Midnight doesn't arrive all at once. It drifts like it's unsure if we're ready to be found. The clock forgets its job, numbers soften into suggestion. Time loosens its grip and lets the room breathe. We're sitting in the low light, edges of things disappearing. Your face half shadow, half invitation. Nothing is urgent here, even desire learns to sit down, to unbutton itself slowly without expecting anything after. Outside, the city exhales one sound at a time, as if it's trying not to interrupt us, as if it understands. Your hand rests near mine, not reaching, not retreating, existing in the careful middle. Midnight watches, patient, curious, it doesn't rush the moment. I notice how you change when the hour deepens. Your shoulders drop, your thoughts stop performing. You look more like yourself when no one is counting minutes, when the world stops asking what comes next. I wanna say something meaningful, but meaning feels loud right now. So I stay quiet and let my presence answer instead. The room grows warmer, not from touch, from staying, from choosing not to leave. Midnight stretches, lays his body across the floor, settles in like it plans to stay longer than we expect. Your breathing syncs with the hum of the dark, and I follow it like a slow song with no chorus. We don't talk about tomorrow, tomorrow doesn't belong here. This hour doesn't want plans, it wants honesty. There's a softness in restraint, a trust in not taking what's already leaning toward you. I feel the weight of your nearness, without pressure, without demand, just quiet gravity. Midnight takes its time, unfolds second by second like it knows this doesn't need to end quickly. Your eyes close and open again, as if you're checking whether I'm still here. I am, and I don't say it because staying is louder when it's unannounced. The dark thickens gently, wrapping around us, not hiding, just holding. If this is all that happens, it's enough. If nothing changes, it still means something. Midnight isn't counting, neither am I. We let the silence move between us at its own pace. Your knee shifts closer, then stops, and that pause is everything. I breathe breathe slower so the moment doesn't feel chased. So time knows we're listening. Midnight takes its time with us, and we let it be, 'cause some things deepen only when they're not rushed. When the hour finally fades, it leaves quietly like it doesn't wanna wake us. And even when the light returns, I'll remember how long midnight stayed, when it found us willing to stay too. We talk carefully, like every sentence costs something, like meaning might break if we hold it too tightly. Your voice arrives in pieces, pauses doing most of the work, and I listen to it stays after the sound disappears. There's a distance in language no one warns you about, the space between what you feel and what you're willing to name. I don't rush to close it, I let it breathe, let the silence stretch until it starts to confess. You choose your words slowly, as if they're still learning you, as if they don't yet deserve to touch what you mean. I sit with the unsaid, feel its temperature, the way it shifts when you almost say more. Every sentence you offer leaves something behind, and that's where I stay, patient, listening. I undress the distance between words, not with questions, but with attention, with the willingness to wait. I remove the urgency first, then the fear of being misunderstood, layer by layer, until only the intention remains. Your eyes follow the floor when things get close, and I follow your breath, so nothing feels cornered. There's an intimacy and not interrupting, leaving my roots on me. I'm leaning into the quiet where your real voice hides, not the one you practice, the one that trembles slightly. You stop talking mid-thought and I don't feel it. I let the space finish for you. That's when I feel it. The distance shrinking, not gone, just closer to skin. I undress it slowly, so I don't need the sentence to end. I already know where it was going, because the space between your words walked me there. We sit inside that understanding, quiet, unlabeled, real, and for once language doesn't feel like a barrier, just something we step through to reach each other. We don't make plans tonight. Plans feel too loud, too sharp for the way the room is breathing around us. The lights are low enough to blur intention, high enough to keep us honest. You lean back like you're giving the dark permission, and finish your thoughts for you. Whose house do you become when nothing is expected? How your body softens when time stops watching. We could move closer, we could stay exactly here, and somehow both feel like choices. The night has its own rhythm, slower than desire, deeper than hesitation, and it doesn't like being rushed. So we let it decide, we let it stretch the seconds until they feel wide enough to lie down in. Your fingers rest against the fabric near my side, not touching, but fully aware. There's a tension that doesn't ask for release, only attention, only patience. Outside the world keeps going, but it sounds distant, like it agreed not to interfere. I don't watch the clock doesn't belong here. This hour answers only to breathe and silence. You glance at me, then look away as if eye contact might change the temperature. And maybe movement starts when noticing, but we stay still, because stillness is saying something, because not moving is also a decision. The night listens, it always does, it waits to feel heart. Let's hit the warmth as he waits till the living room. Feel the warmth, to feel the warmth. I feel the warmth of you without leaning. Feel how closeness doesn't always need proof. Your breathing shifts just slightly in the room, adjust with it like it's taking notes. If we touch, it will be because the dark led us there, not because we were impatient. There's trust in that, and letting the moment arrive instead of pulling it closer by force. I let my shoulders drop, let the quiet hold me the way it's holding you right now. We sit inside a pause that feels intentional, as if the night itself pressed a finger to its lips. Nothing is missing, nothing is late. This moment knows exactly where it is. You're an inches nearer than stops, waiting for a signal that never comes. And that's okay, 'cause waiting is part of the language. The night thickens gently, wraps itself around us, not hiding anything, just slowing it down. I realize then that movement will happen when it's ready, not when we want it. And somehow that makes staying still feel intimate, feel chosen. So we remain quiet, present, unrushed. Let the night decide when we move, because some connections only reveal themselves when no one is pushing. And if nothing changes, if we leave like this, I'll still remember how deeply the night held us, how it taught us that desire doesn't always listen. Sometimes it waits and listens and stays until the dark says now, and not a second before. You leave without ceremony, no slam doors, no final sentence, trying to explain what we didn't finish. The room barely noticed voices at first, your outline still resting where you were standing. The shape the light remember, your shadow stays behind, stretched across the wall like it's undecided about following you. I stand there longer than I should, listening to the after sound of your presence, the quiet you disturbed by leaving. You were careful when you left, like you didn't wanna bruise the moment, like absence could be gentle if handled correctly. But shadows don't move on politely, they linger, they rehearse what happened in slow, dim loops. Your shadow touches me before I realize it, a cool familiarity settling against my chest. I didn't ask you to stay, I didn't ask you to go, and now the room is full of that decision. The light shifts, time pretending to pass, but the shadow keeps its shape, stubborn, faithful. I replay small details, the way you paused at the door, the breath you took as if you might turn back. That hesitation is where your shadow was born, that almost, that unfinished choice. I sit down where you stood to feel if the floor remembers you, to see if the warmth was real or imagined. Your shadow lengthens as the night deepens, like it's growing braver now that you're gone. It tells me things you didn't say, things your mouth avoided, but your body knew. There's an intimacy in leftovers, in the parts of someone that stay after they leave uninvited, persistent. I don't chase you, I don't call your name, I let the shadow have its time, let it finish what you started, because absence isn't empty, it's crowded with echoes, and you left a careful one. The room slowly cools, but the wall still holds you, a memory in low contrast, soft around the edges. I don't meet you where you're guarded, where your shoulders stay lifted, where your voice sounds prepared for misunderstanding. I wait further in, past the practice calm, past the places you explain without being asked. I wait where your pulse softens, where the rhythm forgets to defend itself and starts telling the truth. You sit there quietly, hands folded like you're holding something fragile. And maybe you are, maybe it's yourself. The room feels smaller, not tight, just focused, like it's leaning in to listen. I don't rush you with questions. Questions make you retreat. I let the silence do the work. Let it wear the edges down. Your breath deepens when you realize I'm not measuring your words, I'm staying. There's a moment right before you relax, when your body hesitates, unsure if it's safe. That's where I stay, in that suspended second where trust is deciding whether to land. Your pulse changes, subtle, but I notice, I always do. It slows, not because you're tired, but because you don't need to be alert anymore. I feel it through the air, through the quiet, through the way your posture eases. Millimeter by millimeter, we're not touching, yet I know exactly where your heartbeat is, like the room told me. You look at me then, not searching, just present, and that feels heavier than desire. The night hums softly, a low witness, promising not to repeat what it sees. I stay still so nothing feels chased, so your calm doesn't feel borrowed. Softens more, and I realize this is the intimacy never announced. Not closeness, not confession, just being allowed to remain. If you leave later, you'll take this calm with you, and I'll be glad I didn't interrupt it, because what you're offering isn't touch, it's access. And I wait there, where your pulse softens, listening, not asking, not reaching, just present enough to let you stay as long as you need. Doesn't start with things are obvious. It starts slower, quieter, where intention hasn't learned how to speak. We sit with our words folded, tucked away like letters. We're not ready to send, but refuse to throw out. There's a warmth building beneath the stillness, not urgent, I demand ain't a slow heat, the kind that doesn't announce itself until you realize you've stopped feeling cold. Your eyes linger just long enough to suggest something without asking for permission. I notice how careful you are not to promise, not to reach, not to name what's forming yet. It's there moving beneath us, steady, patient. Unspoken promises of weight, they rest on the chest, they press into the ribs, softly, persistently. The room feels smaller, as if the walls step closer to your better to make sure nothing escapes. I don't break the silence because it's holding something, cause it's doing the work we're avoiding. Your breathing changes when the heat rises, not faster, deeper. I follow the rhythm like it's a map leading somewhere we haven't agreed to go. This isn't hunger, it's something slower, something that knows how to wait without fading. I feel it in the pause before you shift, in the way you stop yourself from saying more. The night thickens around us like it's insulating the moment, keeping the temperature steady so nothing burns too fast. We're not touching, but the space is warm, charged with everything we didn't say. I trust this heat because it doesn't rush me, because it doesn't demand proof to stay alive. If we speak now, it might cool, so we don't. And that feels like a decision. Your presence settles deeper, and I let mine do the same. No sparks, just glow. This is how desire lasts, not by exploding, but by staying. A slow heat under unspoken promises, warming the night, one quiet second at a time. And even when we part, I know I'll carry it. This temperature, this patience. Longer. To the worst decide whether exists or not. We don't hurry the moment, we let it arrive the way it needs to, unannounced, unforced, carrying its own reasons. You sit with your weight shifted back like you're testing the ground, seeing if it will hold before you rest. I stay where I am, not to prove anything, but to show that stillness can be intentional. Some things lean towards you only when they're not chased, only when they know they won't be consumed. The room understands this, it lowers its voice, dims its edges, makes space for patience. Your hands move slower now, not searching, not hiding, just existing. There's a calm in it, a quiet agreement that whatever this is doesn't need help becoming. We don't rush what wants to stay, because staying has its own tempo, and it resists being hurried on principle. I notice how your breath evens out, how your shoulders forget they were once tense from holding themselves up. could trust we'll figure it out. I don't ask what this means, meaning can come later. Right now, presence is enough. You glance at me, then look away, and I can tell you're deciding something. I don't interrupt that process. Decisions need quiet, they need room to hear themselves think. If this were fragile, it would already be shaken, but it isn't. It's rooted, calm. We let silence do what it does best. Reveal, not conceal what's real. There's a softness growing, not passion. Something deeper, something sustainable. I feel it in the way neither of us checks the time, as if the hour has already been chosen. We don't rush what wants to stay, because forcing it would only teach it how to leave. Instead we remain open, unpressured. Your presence settles like it's unpacking, not fully, just enough to be comfortable. And mine does too, without announcement, without expectation, just honesty. If this lasts, it will be because it wasn't cornered, because it was allowed. The night holds us gently, like it's familiar with patience, like it's seen this before and knows how it ends. Not loudly, not quickly, but truthfully. So we stay here longer than planned, longer than explained, long enough to matter. We don't rush what wants to stay. We listen to it, we trust it, we let it breathe. And in doing so, we become something quietly, without ever having to say that we did. Time doesn't move evenly tonight. It stretches and forgets to continue, like it's watching us instead. I stop paying attention to clocks. They don't know how to measure this. They only understand numbers, not nearness. Your hands rest in your lap, open or numb, as if they're not trying to convince anyone. I noticed them before I noticed you. The way your fingers relax, then curl slightly, responding to thoughts you don't speak. I start counting seconds differently, not by passing moments, but by the way your hands shift, almost imperceptibly. 1 second, your thumb presses into your palm like it's grounding you. Another, your fingers loosen, remembering how to rest. The room stays quiet so nothing interrupts this new system of time. I don't look at your face, faces ask for reactions. Hands tell the truth when no one is listening. Each movement carries intention or hesitation or memory, and I count all of it. Your hands move when you breathe deeper. They still when you feel seen. They tense when something gets close, then soften again. Time slows down to match them, or maybe I do. Either way, the night agrees. We're not touching, but the distance is charged, like it's waiting for permission that never arrives. I count another second by the way your knuckles lift and fall like a quiet wave. The air feels thicker, not heavy, just attentive as if it's learning with me. I realize I'm memorizing you, not in pieces, but in rhythm and pace. Your hands tell me when you're comfortable, before your voice ever could. They settle more deeply now, and I know, without asking, that you're staying. The night moves slower, as if it doesn't want to miss anything either. I let the seconds pass, one careful movement at a time. No hurry, no finish line. If this moment ends, I won't remember the hour or the date or the reason we were here. I'll remember how your hands measure time, how they taught me what patience looks like. Another second, another small shift, another quiet confirmation. I count the seconds by your hands, because they don't lie, because they don't rush, because they're here. And I stay with them long enough to forget what time was supposed to do in the first place. Desire doesn't arrive loudly tonight. It doesn't knock, it doesn't explain itself. It barely enters the room. It slips in with the quiet, takes a seat in the corner and waits to be noticed. There's no request in it, no reaching hands, no impatience. Just a low presence settling into the dark. You don't look at me directly, and I understand why eye contact might turn this into something that wants answers instead. You let your gaze wander, as if desire prefers to stay indirect. For now, when desire whispers, it doesn't want permission. It wants awareness, it wants to be felt without being summoned. The room holds its breath, not dramatically, just enough to make space. Your posture shifts slightly, a small adjustment that says more than movement ever could. I feel it then, that soft current moving under the quiet, steady, intentional. Desire isn't asking, because asking will rush it. We'll pull it forward before it knows if it's welcome. So it stays low, warm, persistent, like a thought you don't interrupt. I don't acknowledge it out loud. Naming things can scare them, can make them feel absurd instead of understood. Your breathing changes first, deep and slows, like your body already agreed before your mind did. When desire whispers, It speaks in pauses and restraint, and the choice not to touch, even when you could. The night leans closer, curious but respectful. It knows better than to interfere. I feel desire pass between us, not crossing the distance, just warming it, charging the space. It doesn't want resolution, it wants duration. It wants to stay unresolved long enough to mean something. Your hands stay still and the stillness feels deliberate, almost ceremonial. Desire listens, adjusts, lowers its voice even more, as if to say I'm not here to take, I stay present. Not inviting, not refusing, just available. That's when it grows stronger, not louder, deeper. The air thickens slightly, not heavy, just intimate, like a shared secret. If we spoke now, desire might retreat so we don't, and that feels like trust. When desire whispers, it's already inside you, already decided. It's just waiting for the right silence. Time stretches gently, allowing the moment to remain unfinished, unforced. I realize then, this is the kind of wanting that stays with you even after the night ends. Not because it was fulfilled, but because it was honored without being handled. Desire doesn't always need to ask, sometimes it just needs to be heard at its quietest. And tonight we listen without answering, without interrupting, letting it remain a whisper long enough to change us. There's a moment right before our bodies decide where nothing has happened yet, and everything is possible. We live there tonight, in that narrow distance between intention and movement. You lean slightly forward, then stop as if listening for permission that isn't spoken. I stay exactly where I am, not pulling you closer, not giving you a reason to retreat, just present. The space between us tightens, not smaller or more aware, like it knows it's being noticed. I feel your breath before you move, feel the hesitation settle into the room like a hell note. This space isn't empty, it's crowded with choices, with restraint, with the quiet courage of not rushing. Your eyes soften when you realize nothing is expected of you except honesty. Leaning in isn't about distance, it's about time and about knowing closeness would add something instead of stealing it. The night hums low, a patient witness, unwilling to rush us towards resolution. I sense your warmth without touching you, and somehow that feels more intimate. The space responds tightening, and when we breathe, loosening, when we relax, learning our rhythms. We don't cross it, we let it exist, because this pause is saying something. Your shoulders drop, a sign you didn't notice, but I did, because I'm watching the in-between. This is where trust forms, not in action but in restraint, and choosing not to collapse. The distance, the space between leaning in holds our restraint gently, like it understands how fragile intention can be. I let the moment stretch longer than comfort, longer than habit, until it becomes deliberate. Your head tilts just enough to acknowledge me without asking for more. If we leaned in now, this would end, become something else to find. But staying here keeps it open, keeps it alive. Softly, as if agreeing that this is where we belong for now. I breathe slower so the moment doesn't feel chased, so the space doesn't feel threatened. We remain suspended, balanced on the edge between stillness and surrender. The space between leaning in becomes the intimacy itself, not a barrier but a shared decision. And I stay there with you long enough for it to mean something, long enough to remember. Even after we finally move, I don't at all. I know, step forward even when everything in me could. I let the moment rise without leaning into it. There's a power in restraint. No one teaches you the way. Holding back can sharpen sensation. You're close enough that I feel your presence without touching you. Close enough to choose not to. The night slows around us as if it understands that rushing would ruin what's forming. I hold back not because I'm unsure, but because I want to feel everything. Desire expands in silence, it grows in the space left by movement, delayed. Your breathing deepens when you realize I'm not reaching, and that realization does something to you. I notice how awareness changes when action pauses, how the body listens harder when nothing happens. This isn't denial, it's attention, it's letting sensation fully arrive. The room hums softly, carrying the weight of what's being withheld, like a low note held too long. I stay still, so every detail sharpens the warmth, the tension, the almost. You shift slightly, testing the boundary, and I don't respond, not because I don't want to, but because I do. Holding back stretches time, turns seconds into room. We can walk around and slowly caresses gently as if asking, are you sure? And I am, because this step only exists when nothing is taken yet. I hold back and desire answers by growing quieter, deeper. Your stillness mirrors mine, and that mirroring feels like touch without hands. If we cross the line later, this will stay with me. This patient, this deliberate pause. Because intensity isn't always an action. Sometimes it lives in what you refuse to hurry. I hold back just to feel more, and the feeling proves me right. Filling the space, we chose not to collapse. We remain here long enough for restraint to become its own intimacy. And when the night finally moves on, it leaves this behind. This heightened awareness, this echo of everything we felt by not doing anything at all. Before your mouth decides, before your posture shifts, before your hands remember what they're capable of, your eyes speak, not loudly, not clearly, but honestly. In fragments and pauses, I notice it the moment you look up, then hesitate, like you're checking if I'm paying attention. I am. Your eyes don't ask, they reveal, they let something slip before you can stop it. There's warmth there, not sudden, something practiced, something that's been waiting. You hold my gaze a second longer than necessary. In the room, it just like you felt it too. Your eyes say it first before desire finds a sentence, before intention learns how to stand. I don't react, I let the moment stay intact. Reactions can scare honesty back into hiding. The night dims slightly, as if to protect the exchange, as if eyes deserve privacy when they're telling the truth. You look away, then back again, and that return says more than staying never could. I see the conflict they're wanting and restraint, sharing the same space. Your eyes soften when you realize I'm not misreading you. I'm not rushing the meaning. We don't speak because language would arrive late. This was already said, just not allowed. I feel closer to you now, without moving, without crossing anything. Your eyes keep talking slowly, carefully, as if they don't want to the rest of the night, trying to catch up. If you leave later, this will stay with me. This look, this unguarded second. Because when someone's eyes speak to you like that, you don't forget they said it before you could take it back, before you could decide what it meant. And I heard it quietly, fully, without asking for more. We stay in that understanding long enough for it to settle deep, long enough for silence to agree with what your eyes already told me. Time doesn't break tonight. It softens, loses its edges like something left too close to warm. The clock keeps existing somewhere behind us, doing its job without our participation. We don't move, not because we're frozen, but because stillness feels intentional here. Your presence settles not beside me, but around me like the air learned your shape. I notice how time responds when nothing changes, how seconds stop lining up and start dissolving. Your breath becomes the measure, slow, unconcerned, unwilling to be counted. I let my body forget what it usually does next. Forget progress, forget outcomes. We stay still and time begins to melt quietly, politely, as if it doesn't want to interrupt. The room feels suspended, not paused, just unconcerned with before and after. Your shoulders relax when you realize nothing is expected to happen, nothing is being delayed. There's a kind of safety in not advancing and letting the moment remain undefined. Time slips downward like light through fabric, changing shape without asking permission. I feel closer to you without narrowing the distance, closer because nothing is pulling us forward. The night deepens slowly, not darker, denser, more forgiving. We stay still long enough for urgency to leave, for anticipation to soften into presence. Your breathing evens out and mind follows, like time is no longer leading, just observing. I forget how long we've been here and realize that forgetting is the point. Nothing is ticking, nothing is chasing us, nothing is waiting on the other side of this. Time melts, slides off the moment, unable to hold its form. We exist inside something thicker, slower, something that doesn't need to be measured. Your stillness becomes familiar, not stagnant, anchored. I feel the quiet stretch until it becomes elastic, wide enough to live inside. If we move now, time would return, snap back into place, resume its authority, so we don't. We let it melt completely, let it lose track of us, like we stepped out of its reach. The night accepts this, wraps itself tighter as if to say, stay. We remain unmoving, unclaimed, and time unable to do anything about it. Eventually it will reform, form, harden again, pretend it never left. But right now, while we stay still, it's gone. And in its absence, everything or at all. I don't want you. The way things rush, the way days collapse in a night, the way hands grab before they understand. I want you slowly, in a language that doesn't panic, that doesn't confuse urgency with truth. I want you without hurrying, without turning desire into a deadline or closeness into proof. We sit inside the moment like it isn't going anywhere, like it trusts us to stay long enough to feel it fully. Your presence doesn't push, it settles, and that tells me more than movement ever could. I don't reach for you because reaching would simplify this, and what we're doing deserves more care. And I wanna know how you breathe when nothing is expected, how your body exists when it isn't performing. The night slows down around us as if it understands that speed would ruin the texture of this. I notice the way your attention lingers, how it doesn't jump ahead, how it stays with what's happening now. That's where I want you, right here, undivided, unrushed. Desire grows differently when it isn't chased, it deepens instead of sharpening. I feel it in the quiet, in the way we don't fill space just because it's there. I want you without hurrying, without asking you to become something quickly for me. I want you as you are, in this exact pace, in this unfinished moment that doesn't owe us anything. Your breathing steadies when you realize I'm not pulling the future toward us. I'm not imagining next steps, I'm staying, and that feels like a promise without saying one. We let the moment stretch long enough to reveal its real shape, not the rushed version. I want you in the waiting, in the pauses, in the gentle weight of choosing not to advance. Because some connections don't survive speed, they need room, they need silence, they need time to soften. The night holds us patiently, like it's done this before, like it knows what lasts, moves slowly. I want you without hurrying, so I can feel everything as it arrives, not after it's already past. If we move later, it will be because this carried us there, not because we were impatient. just trusting it will come. Until then, I stay here, prison on pressure. Wanting slowly, deliberately, without hurrying at all. I don't wait for the obvious moment. We once people talk about later. I stay earlier, where things are still forming. I stay in the pause, you don't notice the half second after you breathe in, before you decide what comes next. That's where you're real, before intention puts on shape, before control remembers how to stand upright. You don't see it, but I do. The way your body hesitates, like it's listening inward. The room is quiet enough to catch it, the subtle delay between thought and movement. I don't interrupt, interruptions scare pauses away. They make them hide behind action, so I stay, watching the small suspension, where you haven't chosen yet who you're going to be. There's tenderness there, in that unfinished state, where nothing is promised and nothing is defended. Your hands still for just a moment, longer than necessary, and that moment opens, time loosens, like it forgot to keep going, like it's curious what you'll do. I don't lean in, I don't step back, I let the pause exist without pressure. That's where trust settles quietly, without asking for permission or acknowledgement. The pause deepens, becomes comfortable, like it realizes it isn't being judged. You exhale, and something softens, not dramatically, just honestly. I stay with that honesty longer than expected, longer than habit allows, because the pause is where everything begins without being forced to start. If you leave later, you'll never remember this part, but I will. The stillness before you decided to stay or go. That's where I was, listening, not asking, not pulling, just staying in the pause. You didn't notice, but trusted enough to show me. Nothing happens, and that's the point. No sudden movement, no confession, breaking the quiet. No hands crossing lines, they aren't ready to cross. We sit, and the room stays exactly the same, as if it's holding its breath to see if we will. nothing happens, and everything settles. Your presence becomes heavier, not oppressive, anchored. I feel it in the way you stop adjusting your posture, stop performing comfort, and simply exist. The night doesn't change scenes, it keeps the same frame long enough for meaning to grow inside it. Nothing happens loudly, but inside things are shifting, rearranging. This kind of stillness isn't empty, it's loaded. It carries intention without declaring it desire, without demanding it. You glance at me once, then don't again, and somehow that's more intimate. Because it says you don't need confirmation to stay. Time passes unnoticed, not because it stopped, but because it stopped mattering. Nothing happens, and it teaches me how rare that is, how often moments try too hard to justify themselves. This one doesn't. It doesn't explain, it doesn't ask to be remembered, and that's why it will be. Your breathing sinks with the quiet, like you've accepted it as enough. I don't reach, because reaching would change what's perfect about this restraint. Nothing happens and it feels deliberate, chosen, like we both decided without speaking that this was worth protecting. If someone asked what we did tonight, there'd be no answer. But we both know something stayed, something calm, something unforced, something honest. Nothing happens, and it means everything, because it didn't need to become more to matter. I let it come the way it wants to, slow, uncertain. You sit there quietly, and something begins. Not sharply, not clearly. It starts as temperature, a shift, barely noticeable. I let the feeling finish itself, instead of naming it too early, instead of trapping it in language. Some feelings need time to decide what they are. They resist being defined too soon. I stay present without steering, without expecting a destination. The feeling grows deeper, not louder. It settles instead of rising. Your presence feeds it just by being there, unpressured, unclaimed. I notice how the feeling changes when it's allowed, how it relaxes into its own shape. The night supports this, slowing everything else down, so the feeling isn't rushed by noise. I don't act on it because acting would end what's still unfolding. There's trust here in letting something complete itself without interference. The feeling moves through stages, warmth, weight, clarity. Each one arriving only when the previous is done. You don't seem aware of how deeply this is happening, and that makes it feel safer. I let the feeling reach its end naturally, without being pushed forward. When it finally settles, it doesn't explode, it stays calm, present, certain. I realize then this is the kind of desire that doesn't fade quickly, because it wasn't rushed. I let the feeling finish itself, and in doing so, it leaves something behind. Not urgency, not hunger, but depth. And I know whatever comes after will move slower because of this. We allowed something real to arrive and complete on its own time. is buried awake, curtains holding their breath, light leaking like it's unsure if it's allowed to watch us. You sit across from me, not close, not far, just enough to feel the quiet bend. I don't ask who you are, I don't need a story yet. I listen to the way your chest rises, like the night is teaching you how to stay. Your breathing tells me things your mouth never rushes to say. Where you soften, where you hesitate, where you almost leave. There's a language in pauses, a grammar in the way you wait, and I'm fluent in that moment before words draw in the shade. I learn you slowly, the way shadows learn the wall, by staying long enough to become part of it. Your inhale pulls the room closer, your exhale loosens my hands. I wasn't planning on touching you, but my thoughts already did. Silence stretches between us, not empty, just full of things that don't want names yet. I could ask you what you're running from, what keeps you awake, what you want from me, but instead I listen again to the small hesitation in your breath right before it deepens. That's where you are, honest. I trace the rhythm in my mind, memorize it like a secret door, not to open, just to know it's there. The night doesn't push us, it leans, patient, curious. I feel the heat of you running, feel how close closeness can be without crossing anything. Your breathing changes when you notice mine, and suddenly we're speaking without making a sound. This is where I stay, before introductions, before intentions, before it learns how to ask how. I learn your breathing before your name, because names can leave, but this stays with me. Even when the room forgets, even when the light returns, even when you're gone, I remember how you breathed when you were almost mine. We don't sit beside each other, we choose a space that pretends it isn't listening. Your knee angled toward mine, like a question you don't finish, like a thought you leave open on purpose. The room is dim enough to forgive everything, the lamp breathing low walls, learning how to keep secrets. I don't move closer, I don't need to. Distance can be intimate when it knows why it's there. Your sleeve brushes the air, I feel it anyway. My skin imagining things before my hands do. You look at the floor like it might answer you. I look at your mouth, waiting for it not to speak. There's a tension and stillness. No one warns you about the kind that hums right under the quiet. If I leaned in, this would change, and I'm not ready to let change interrupt us. So we stay close enough to almost touch, close enough to feel the heat without proving it. Your breath slows when you realize I'm not going anywhere, and neither is this moment. The night stretches its spine outside the window, cars passing like thoughts we decide not to follow. I notice how careful you are with your hands, as if they already know what they could ruin. I notice how careless my heart becomes when nothing happens and everything is allowed. We share a silence that keeps growing teeth, soft ones that bite only if we move. I wanna say your name just to see what it does to us, but I keep it locked inside where it can't rush anything. Your shoulder shifts just enough and my body responds before I do. This is the edge, I like the almost, the nearly, the pause that feels intentional. Not touching but remembering how it would feel, as if memory itself is already a form of contact. So stay right there, where desire doesn't beg, it waits. Stay close enough to almost touch, because sometimes almost is where everything lives. You're quiet in a way that feels intentional, like you folded your words carefully and set them down somewhere safe. We're standing too close for strangers, too still for anything else. Your presence leaning into me without asking permission. I feel your silence before I understand it, the weight of it resting right where my breath begins. It's not empty, it's crowded with things you decided not to say, with moments you're still protecting. Your forehead near my shoulder, your heartbeat choosing a slower rhythm, as if it's listening for mine before it commits. I don't feel the space, I let it press into me. Let it tell me where you're tender without making you explain. There's something intimate about not being invited in, but being trusted to stay anyway. Your silence moves subtle, a shift in pressure, like the night adjusting its grip. I can tell when you're thinking of leaving by how your breath tightens. I can tell when you're staying by how it finally lets go. My chest learns your language the way skin learns warmth, through repetition, through patience. I wonder what would happen if you spoke right now, if your voice would break the spell or deepen it. But you don't, and I'm grateful. behind my breath inside the pause after exhale. We're not touching, not really, but the distance is doing the work. Hands usually rush to do. I close my eyes so the moment doesn't feel washed, so you don't feel studied, only felt. There's a safety in the way you don't rush me, in the way you let the quiet speak first and last. If you leave, this silence will stay with me, a shape I'll recognize in other rooms. But for now it's here, pressed against my chest, steady, unasking. And I hold it like something alive, like something that trusts me not to drop it. Midnight doesn't arrive all at once. It drifts like it's unsure if we're ready to be found. The clock forgets its job, numbers soften into suggestion. Time loosens its grip and lets the room breathe. We're sitting in the low light, edges of things disappearing. Your face half shadow, half invitation. Nothing is urgent here, even desire learns to sit down, to unbutton itself slowly without expecting anything after. Outside, the city exhales one sound at a time, as if it's trying not to interrupt us, as if it understands. Your hand rests near mine, not reaching, not retreating, existing in that careful middle. Midnight watches, patient, curious. It doesn't rush the moment. I notice how you change when the hour deepens. Your shoulders drop, your thoughts stop performing. You look more like yourself when no one is counting minutes, when the world stops asking what comes next. I wanna say something meaningful, but meaning feels loud right now. So I stay quiet and let my presence answer instead. The room grows warmer, not from touch, from staying, from choosing not to leave. Midnight stretches, lays its body across the floor, settles in like it plans to stay longer than we expect. Your breathing syncs with the hum of the dark, and I follow it like a slow song with no chorus. We don't talk about tomorrow, tomorrow doesn't belong here. This hour doesn't want plans, it wants honesty. There's a softness in restraint, a trust in not taking what's already leaning towards you. I feel the weight of your nearness without pressure, without demand, just quiet gravity. Midnight takes its time, unfolds second by second like it knows this doesn't need to end quickly. Your eyes close and open again, as if you're checking whether I'm still here. I am, and I don't say it because staying is louder when it's unannounced. The dark thickens, gently wrapping around us, not hiding, just holding. If this is all that happens, it's enough. If nothing changes, still means something. Midnight isn't counting, neither am I. We let the silence move between us at its own pace. Your knee shifts closer, then stops, and that pause is everything. I breathe slower so the moment doesn't feel chased, so time knows we're listening. Midnight takes its time with us and we let it, because some things deepen only when they're not rushed. When the hour fades, it leaves quietly, like it doesn't wanna wake us. And even when the light returns, I'll remember how long midnight stayed, when it found us willing to stay too. Stay too. Stay too. We talk carefully, like every sentence costs something, like meaning might break if we hold it too tightly. Your voice arrives in pieces, pauses doing most of the work, and I listen to what stays after the sound disappears. There's a distance in language no one warns you about, the space between what you feel and what you're willing to name. I don't rush to close it, I let it breathe, let the silence stretch until it starts to confess. You choose your words slowly, as if they're still learning you, as if they don't yet deserve to touch what you mean. I sit with the unsaid, feel its temperature, the way it shifts when you almost say more. Every sentence you offer leaves something behind, and that's where I stay, patient, listening. I undress the distance between words, not with questions, but with attention, with the willingness to wait. I remove the urgency first, then the fear of being misunderstood, layer by layer until only intention remains. Your eyes follow the floor when things get close, and I follow your breath so nothing feels cornered. There's an intimacy in not interrupting, in letting your thoughts arrive when they trust the room. I notice how truth changes its shape depending on how much time you give it. Some meanings need the dark, some only appear when no one is asking for clarity. I lean into the quiet, where your real voice hides, not the one you practice, the one that trembles slightly. You stop talking mid-thought and I don't feel it, I let the space finish for you. That's when I feel it, the distance shrinking, not gone, just closer to skin. I undress it slowly, the way night undresses the city, without anyone noticing, until everything feels exposed. Your last word hangs unfinished, and somehow it says enough. I don't need the sentence to end, I already know where it was going, because the space between your words walked me there. We sit inside that understanding, quiet, unlabeled, real. And for once, language doesn't feel like a barrier, just something we step through to reach each other. plans feel too loud, too sharp for the way the room is breathing around us. The lights are low enough to blur intention, high enough to keep us honest. You lean back like you're giving the dark permission to finish your thoughts for you. I notice how still you become when nothing is expected, how your body softens when time stops watching. We could move closer, we could stay exactly here, and somehow both feel like choices. The night has its own rhythm, slower than desire, deeper than hesitation, and it doesn't like being rushed. So we let it decide, we let it stretch the seconds until they feel wide enough to lie on it. Your fingers rest against the fabric near my side, not touching but fully aware. There's a tension that doesn't ask for release, only attention, only patience. Outside, the world keeps going, but it sounds distant, like it agreed not to interfere. I don't watch the clock doesn't belong here. This hour answers only to breathe in silence. You glance at me, then look away as if eye contact might change the temperature, and maybe it would. Maybe movement starts with noticing, but we stay still because stillness is saying something, because not moving is also a decision. The night listens, it always does, it waits for the moment to feel earned. I feel the warmth of you without leaning in, feel how closeness doesn't always need proof. Your breathing shifts just slightly and the room adjusts with it, like it's taking notes. If we touch, it will be because the dark led us there, not because we were impatient. There's trust in that, in letting the moment arrive. Instead of pulling it closer by force, I let my shoulders drop, let the quiet hold me the way it's holding you right now. We sit inside a pause that feels as intentional as if the night itself pressed a finger to its lips. Nothing is missing, nothing is late. This moment knows exactly where it is. Your knee inches nearer, then stops, waiting for a signal that never comes. And that's okay, because waiting is part of the language. The night thickens gently, wraps itself around us, not hiding anything, just slowing it down. I realize then that movement will happen when it's ready, not when we want it. And somehow that makes staying still feel intimate, feel chosen. So we remain quiet, present, unrushed. Let the night decide when we move, because some connections only reveal themselves when no one is pushing. And if nothing changes, if we leave like this, I'll still remember how deeply the night held us, how it taught us that desire doesn't always advance. Sometimes it waits and listens and stays until the dark says now, and not a second before. You leave without ceremony, no slam doors, no final sentence, trying to explain what we didn't finish. The room barely notices at first, your outline still resting where you were standing. A shape the light remembers. Your shadow stays behind, stretched across the wall like it's undecided about disturb by leaving. You were careful when you left, like you didn't wanna bruise the moment, like absence could be gentle if handled correctly. But shadows don't move on politely, they linger, they rehearse what happened in slow, dim loops. Your shadow touches me before I realize it. A cool familiarity settling against my chest. I didn't ask you to stay, I didn't ask you to go, and now the room is full of that decision. The light shifts, time pretending to pass, but the shadow keeps its shape, stubborn, faithful. I replay small details, the way you paused at the door, the breath you took as if you might turn back. That hesitation is where your shadow was born. That almost, that unfinished choice. I sit down where you stood to feel if the floor remembers you, to see if the warmth was real or imagined. Your shadow lengthens as the night deepens, like it's growing braver. Now that you're gone, it tells me things you didn't say, things your mouth avoided, but your body knew. There's an intimacy in leftovers, in the parts of someone that stay after they leave uninvited. Persistent, I don't chase you, I don't call your name. I let the shadow have its time, let it finish what you started. Because absence isn't empty, it's crowded with echoes, and you left a careful one. The room slowly cools, but the wall still holds you. A memory in low contrast, soft around the edges. Eventually the light will change and your shadow will dissolve into nothing specific. But right now it lingers longer than you do, faithful to a moment you couldn't stay for. And I stand inside it, not to bring you back, just to feel where you were honest. One last time before the night moves on and teaches the walls how to forget. I don't meet you where you're guarded, where your shoulders stay lifted, where your voice sounds prepared for misunderstanding. I wait further in, past the practice calm, past the places you explain without being asked. I wait where your pulse softens, where the rhythm forgets to defend itself and starts telling the truth. You sit there quietly, hands folded like you're holding something fragile. And maybe you are, maybe it's yourself. The room feels smaller, not tight, just focused like it's leaning into listen. I don't rush you with questions. Questions make you retreat. I let the silence do the work, let it wear the edges down. Your breath deepens when you realize I'm not measuring your words, I'm staying. There's a moment right before you relax, when your body hesitates, unsure if it's safe. That's where I stay, and I suspend a second, where trust is deciding whether to land. Your pulse changes subtle, but I notice I always do. It slows, not because you're tired, because you don't need to be alert anymore. You feel the air through the quiet, through the way your posture eases, millimeter by millimeter. We're not touching yet, I know exactly where your heartbeat is, like the room told me. You look at me then, not searching, just present, and that feels heavier than desire. The night hums softly, a low witness, promising not to repeat what it sees. I stay still, so nothing feels chased, so your calm doesn't feel borrowed. Your pulse softens more than I realize. This is the intimacy you never announced. Not closeness, not confession, just being allowed to remain. If you leave later, you'll take this calm with you, and I'll be glad I didn't interrupt it, because what you're offering isn't touch, it's access. And I wait there where your pulse softens, listening, not asking, not reaching, just present enough to let you stay as long as you need. Doesn't start where things are obvious. It starts lower, quieter, where intention hasn't learned how to speak. We sit with our words folded, tucked away like letters we're not ready to send, but refuse to throw out. There's a warmth building beneath the stillness, not urgent, not demanding. Slow heat, the kind that doesn't announce itself until you realize you stop feeling cold. Your eyes linger just long enough to suggest something without asking for permission. I notice how careful you are not to promise, not to reach, not to name what's forming, and yet it's there. Moving in ether, steady, patient, unspoken promises have weight. They rest on the chest closer to hear better to make sure nothing escapes. I don't break the silence cause it's holding something, because it's doing the work we're avoiding. Your breathing changes when the heat rises, not faster, deeper. I follow that rhythm like it's a map leading somewhere we haven't agreed to go. This isn't hunger, it's something slower, something that knows how to wait without fading. I feel it in the pause before you shift, in the way you stop yourself from saying more. The night thickens around us like it's insulating the moment, keeping the temperature steady so nothing burns too fast. We're not touching, but the space is warm, charged with everything we didn't say. I trust this heat, because it doesn't rush me, because it doesn't demand proof to stay alive. If we speak now, it might cool so we don't, and that feels like a decision. Your presence settles deeper, and I let mine do the same. No sparks, just glow. This is how desire lasts, not by exploding but by staying. A slow heat under unspoken promises, warm in the night, one quiet second at a time. And even when we part, I know I'll carry it, this temperature, this patient, long after the words decide whether to exist or not. We don't hurry the moment, we let it arrive the way it needs to. Unannounced, unforced, carrying its own reasons. You sit with your weight shifted back like you're testing the ground, seeing if it will hold before you rest. I stay where I am, not to prove anything, but to show that stillness can be intentional. Some things lean towards you only when they're not chased, only when they know they won't be consumed. The room understands this, it lowers its voice, dims its edges, makes space for patience. Your hands move slower now, not searching, not hiding, just existing. There's a calm in that, a quiet agreement that whatever this is doesn't need help becoming. We don't rush what wants to stay, because staying has its own tempo, and it resists being hurried on principle. I notice how your breath evens out, how your shoulders forget they were once tense from holding themselves up. The night stretches around us, not dramatic, just steady, like a trust we'll figure it out. I don't ask what this means, meaning can come later. Right now, presence is enough. You glance at me, then look away, and I can tell you're deciding something. I don't interrupt that process. Decisions need quiet, they need room to hear themselves think. If this were fragile, it would already be shaken, but it isn't, it's rooted calm. We let silence do what it does best, reveal, not conceal what's real. There's a softness growing, not passion, something deeper, something sustainable. I feel it in the way neither of us Atlas checks the time as if the hour has already been chosen. We don't rush what wants to stay, because forcing it would only teach it how to leave. Instead we remain open and pressured. Your presence settles like it's unpacking, not fully, just enough to be comfortable. And mine does too, without announcement, without expectation, just honesty. If this lasts it will be because it wasn't cornered, because it was allowed. The night holds us gently, like it's familiar with patience, like it's seen this before and knows how it ends, not loudly, not quickly, but truthfully. So we stay here longer than planned, longer than explained, long enough to matter. We don't rush what wants to stay, we listen to it, we trust it, we let it breathe. And in doing so, we become something quietly without ever having to say that we did. Time doesn't move evenly tonight, it stretches, then forgets to continue, like it's watching us instead. I stop paying attention to clocks, they don't know how to measure this. They only understand numbers, not nearness. Your hands rest in your lap, open, unarmed, as if they're not trying to convince anyone. I noticed them before I noticed you, the way your fingers relax then curl slightly, responding to thoughts you don't speak. I start counting seconds differently, not by passing moments, but by the way your hands shift almost imperceptibly. One second, your thumb presses into your palm like it's grounding you. Another, your fingers loosen, remembering how to rest. The room stays quiet so nothing interrupts this new system of time. I don't look at your face, faces ask for reactions, hands tell the truth when no one is listening. Each movement carries intention or hesitation or memory, and I count all of it. Your hands move when you breathe deeper, they still when you feel seen, they tense when something gets close, then soften again. Time slows down to match them, or maybe I do. Either way, the night agrees. We're not touching, but the distance is charged like it's waiting for permission that never arrives. I count another second by the way your knuckles lift and fall, like a quiet wave. The air feels thicker, not heavy, just attentive, as if it's learning with me. I realize I'm memorizing you, not in pieces but in rhythm, in pace. Your hands tell me when you're comfortable before your voice ever could. They settle more deeply now, and I know without asking how they taught me what patience looks like. Forget what time was supposed to do in the first place. Desire doesn't arrive loudly at night. It doesn't knock, it doesn't explain itself. It barely enters the room. It slips in with a quiet, takes a seat in the corner and waits to be noticed. There's no requesting and no reaching hands, no impatience, just a low presence settling into the dark. You don't look at me directly, and I understand why. Eye contact might turn this into something that wants answers. Instead, you let your gaze wander as if desire prefers to stay indirect for now. When desire whispers, it doesn't want permission. It wants awareness, it wants to be felt without being summoned. The room holds its breath, not dramatically, just enough to make space. Your posture shifts slightly, a small adjustment that says more than movement ever could. I feel it then, that soft current moving under the quiet, steady, intentional. Desire isn't asking, because asking would rush. It would pull it forward before it knows if it's welcome. So it stays low, warm, persistent, like a thought you don't interrupt. I don't acknowledge it out loud. Naming things can scare them, can make them feel observed instead of understood. Your breathing changes first, deepens, slows, like your body already agreed before your mind did. When desire whispers, it speaks in pauses and restrained in the choice not to touch even when you could. The night leans closer, curious but respectful. It knows better than to interfere. I feel desire pass between us, not crossing the distance, just warming it, charging the space. It doesn't want resolution, it wants duration. It wants to stay unresolved long enough to mean something. Your hand stays still, and that stillness feels deliberate, almost ceremonial. Desire listens, adjusts, lowers its voice even more, as if to say, I'm not here to take. I stay And tonight we listen without answering, without interrupting, letting it remain a whisper, long enough to change us. There's a moment right before our bodies decide, when nothing has happened yet, and everything is possible. We live that at night in the narrow distance between intention and movement. You lean slightly forward, then stop, as if listening for permission that isn't spoken. I stay exactly where I am, not pulling you closer, not giving you a reason to retreat, just present. The space between us tightens, not smaller, more aware, like it knows it's being noticed. I feel your breath before you move, feel the hesitation settle into the room like a held note. The space isn't empty, it's crowded with choices, with restraint, with the quiet courage of not rushing. Your eyes soften when you realize nothing is expected of you except honesty. Leaning in isn't about distance, it's about time and about knowing when closeness would add something instead of stealing it. The night hums low, a patient witness, unwilling to rush us to our evolution. I sense your warmth without touching you, and somehow that feels more intimate. The space responds, tightening when we breathe, loosening when we relax, learning our rhythms. We don't cross it, we let it exist, because this pause is saying something. Your shoulders drop, a sign you didn't notice, but I did, because I'm watching the in-between. This is where trust forms, not in action, but in restraint and choosing not to collapse. The distance, the space between leaning in, holds our restraint gently, like it understands how fragile intention can be. I let the moment stretch longer than comfort, longer than habit, until it becomes deliberate. Your head tilts just enough to acknowledge me without asking for more. If we leaned in now, this would end, become something else defined. But staying here keeps it open, keeps it alive. The night thickens softly, as if agreeing that this is where we belong for now. I breathe slower so the moment doesn't feel chased, so the space doesn't feel threatened. We remain suspended, balanced on the edge between stillness and surrender. The space between leaning in becomes the intimacy itself, not a barrier, but a shared decision. And I stay there with you long enough for it to mean something, long enough to remember, even after we finally or don't at all, at all. I don't step forward, even when everything in me could. I let the moment rise without leaning into it. There's a power in restraint no one teaches you. The way holding back can sharpen sensation. You're close enough that I feel your presence without touching you. Close enough to choose not to. The night slows around us as if it understands that rushing would ruin what's forming. I hold back, not because I'm unsure, but because I want to feel everything. Desire expands in silence, it grows in the space left by movement delayed. Your breathing deepens when you realize I'm not reaching, and that realization does something to you. I notice how awareness changes when action pauses, how the body listens harder when nothing happens. This isn't denial, it's attention, it's leaden sensation. Fully arrived, the room hums softly, carrying the weight of what's being withheld. Like a low note held too long, I stay still, so every detail sharpens the warmth, the tension, the almost. You shift slightly, testing the boundary, and I don't respond, not because I don't want to, but because I do. Holding back stretches time, turns seconds into moons. We can walk around and slowly I feel more this way, more present, more aware of where I end and where you begin. The night presses gently as if asking, are you sure? And I am, because this depth only exists when nothing is taken yet. I hold back and desire answers by growing quieter, deeper. Your stillness mirrors mine, and that mirroring feels like touch without hands. If we cross the line later, this will stay with me. This patience, this deliberate pause. Because intensity isn't always in action. Sometimes it lives in what you refuse to hurry. I hold back just to feel more, and the feeling proves me right. Feeling the space we chose not to collapse. We remain here long enough for restraint to become its own intimacy. And when the night finally moves on, it leaves us behind. This heightened awareness, this echo of everything we felt by not doing anything at all. Before your mouth decides, before your posture shifts, before your hands remember what they're capable of. Your eyes speak, not loudly, not clearly, but honestly in fragments and pauses. I notice at the moment you look up, then hesitate, like you're checking if I'm paying attention. I am slip before you can stop it. There's warmth there, not sudden. Something practiced, something that's been waiting. You hold my gaze a second longer than necessary, and the room adjusts like it felt it to your eyes. Say it first before desire finds a sentence, before intention learns how to stand. I don't react, I let the moment stay intact. Reactions can scare honesty back into hiding. The night dims slightly, as if to protect the exchange, as if eyes deserve privacy when they're telling the truth. You look away, then back again, and that return says more than staying ever could. I see the conflict there, wanting restraint, sharing the same space. Your eyes soften when you realize I'm not misreading you, I'm not rushing to mean it. We don't speak because language would arrive late. This was already said, just not aloud. I feel closer to you now without moving, without crossing anything. Your eyes keep talking slowly, carefully, as if they don't wanna be misunderstood. I listen with my whole body, the way you do when something matters. The room grows warmer, not from proximity, from recognition. Your eyes say it first, and everything else spends the rest of the night trying to catch up. If you leave later, this will stay with me. This look, this unguarded second. Because once someone's eyes speak to you like that, you don't forget. They said it before you could take it back, before you could decide what it meant, and I heard it quietly, fully, without asking for more. We stay in that understanding long enough for it to settle deep, long enough for silence to agree with what your eyes already told me. Time doesn't break tonight, it softens, loses its edges like something left too close to warm. The clock keeps existing somewhere behind us, doing its job without our participation. We don't move, not because we're frozen, but because stillness feels intentional here. Your presence settles not beside me, but around me, like the air learned your shape. I notice how time responds when nothing changes. Our seconds stop lining up and start dissolving. Your breath becomes a measure, slow, unconcerned, unwilling to be counted. I let my body forget what it usually does next. Forget progress, forget outcomes. We stay still and time begins to melt quietly, politely, as if it doesn't want to interrupt. The room feels suspended, not paused, just unconcerned with before and after. Your shoulders relax when you realize nothing is expected to happen. Nothing is being delayed. There's a kind of safety in not advancing and letting the moment undefined. Time slips down one light glide through fabric, changing shape without asking permission. I feel closer to you without narrowing the distance closer, because nothing is pulling us forward. The night deepens slowly, not darker, denser, more forgiving. We stay still long enough for urgency to leave, for anticipation to soften into presence. Your breathing evens out and mine follows, like time is no longer leading, just observing. I forget how long we've been here and realize that forgetting is the point. Nothing is ticking, nothing is chasing us, nothing is waiting on the other side of this. Time out slides off the moment, unable to hold its form. We exist inside something thicker, slower, something that doesn't need to be measured. Your stillness becomes familiar, not stagnant anchor. I feel the quiet stretch until it becomes elastic, wide enough to live inside. If we move now, time will return, snap back into place. We'll resume its authority, so we don't. We let it melt completely, let it lose track of us, like we stepped out of its reach. The night accepts this, wraps itself tighter, as if to say, stay. We remain unmoving, unclaimed in time, unable to do anything about it. Eventually it will reform, harden again, pretend it never left. But right now, while we stay still, it's gone, and in its absence, everything feels closer, deeper, deeper. Time melts and we don't stop it, because nothing that's quiet needs to end quickly or at all. I don't want you the way things rush, the way days collapse into nights, the way hands grab before they understand. I want you slowly, in a language that doesn't panic, that doesn't confuse urgency with truth. I want you without hurrying, without turning desire into a deadline or closeness into proof. We sit inside the moment, like it isn't going anywhere, like it trusts stay long enough to feel it fully. Your presence doesn't push, it settles, and that tells me more than movement ever could. I don't reach for you because reaching would simplify this. And what we're doing deserves more care than that. I wanna know how you breathe when nothing is expected, how your body exists when it isn't performing. The night slows down around us as if it understands that speed would ruin the texture of this. I notice the way your attention lingers, how it doesn't jump ahead, how it stays with what's happening now. That's where I want you, right here, undivided, unrushed. Desire grows differently when it isn't chased, it deepens instead of sharpening. I feel it in the quiet, in the way we don't fill space just because it's there. I want you without hurrying, without asking you to become something quickly for me. I want you as you are, in this exact pace, in this unfinished moment that doesn't owe us anything. Your breathing steadies when you realize I'm not pulling the future toward us, I'm not imagining next steps. I'm staying in the feels like a promise without saying one. We let the moment stretch long enough to reveal its real shape, not the rushed version. I want you in the waiting, in the pauses, in the gentle weight of choosing not to advance. Because some connections don't survive speed, they need room, they need silence, they need time to soften. The night holds us patiently, like it's done this before, like it knows what lasts. Move slowly, I want you without hurrying, so I can feel everything as it arrives, not after it's already passed. If we move later, it will be because this carried us there, not because we were impatient. And if we don't, this will still matter. This unforced closeness, this calm wanting. I want you the way night wants morning, not rushing it, just trusting it will come. Until then I stay here, present, unpressured, wanting you. Slowly, deliberately, without hurrying at all. I don't the ones people talk about later. I stay earlier, where things are still forming. I stay in the pause you don't notice, the half second after you breathe in, before you decide what comes next. That's where you're real, before intention puts on shape, before control remembers how to stand upright. You don't see it, but I do. The way your body hesitates like it's listening word. The room is quiet enough to catch it, the subtle delay between thought and movement. I don't interrupt interruptions, scare pauses away. They make them hide behind action. So I stay watching the small suspension, where you haven't chosen yet who you're going to be. There's tenderness there in that unfinished state, where nothing is promised and nothing is defended. Your hands still for just a moment longer than necessary, and that moment opens. Time loosens like it forgot to keep going, like it's curious what you'll do. I don't lean in, I don't step back, I let the pause exist without pressure. That's where trust settles quietly, without asking for permission or acknowledgement. The pause deepens, becomes comfortable, like it realized it isn't being judged. You exhale and something softens, not dramatically, just honestly. I stay with that honesty, longer than expected, longer than habit allows, because the pause is where everything begins without being forced to start. If you leave later, you'll never remember this part, but I will. The stillness before you decided to stay or go. This where I was listening, not asking, not pulling, just staying in the pause. You didn't notice, but trusted enough to show me. Nothing happens, and that's the point. No sudden movement, no confession breaking the quiet, no hands crossing lines they aren't ready to cross. We sit, and the room stays exactly the same, as if it's holding its breath to see if we will. Nothing happens, and everything settles. Your presence becomes heavier, not oppressive, anchored. I feel it in the way you stop adjusting your posture, stop performing comfort, and simply exist. The night doesn't change scenes, it keeps the same frame long enough for meaning to grow inside it. Nothing happens loudly, but inside things are shifting, rearranging. This kind of stillness isn't empty, it's loaded. It carries intention without declaring it, desire without demanding it. You glance at me once, then don't again, and somehow that's more intimate, because it says you don't need confirmation to stay. Time passes unnoticed, not because it stopped, but because it stopped mattering. Nothing happens, and it teaches me how rare that is. How often moments try too hard to justify themselves. This one doesn't, it doesn't explain, it doesn't ask to be remembered. And that's why it will be. Your breathing syncs with the quiet, like you've accepted it as enough. I don't reach, because reaching would change what's perfect about this restraint. Nothing happens, and it feels deliberate, chosen, like we both decided without speaking that this was worth protecting. If someone asked what we did tonight, there'd be no answer, but we both know something stayed. Something calm, something unforced, something honest. Nothing happens, and it means everything, because it didn't need to become more to matter. I don't rush the feeling, I don't interrupt it. Mid-arrival, mid-thought, I let it come the way it wants to. Slow, uncertain. You sit there quietly, and something begins. Not sharply, not clearly. It starts as temperature, a shift, barely noticeable. I let the feeling finish itself instead of naming it too early, instead of trapping it in language. Some feelings need time to decide what they are. They resist being defined too soon. I stay present without steering, without expecting a destination. The feeling grows deeper, not louder. It settles instead of rising. Your presence feeds it just by being there, unpressured, unclaimed. I notice how the feeling changes when it's allowed, how it relaxes into its own shape. The night supports this, slowing everything else down, so the feeling isn't rushed by noise. I don't act on it because acting would end what's still unfolding. There's trust here in letting something complete itself without interference. The feeling moves through stages, warmth, weight, clarity, each one arriving only when the previous is done. You don't seem aware of how deeply this is happening, and that makes it feel safer. Without being pushed forward, when it finally settles, it doesn't explode, it stays calm, present, certain. It wasn't rushed. I let the feeling finish itself, and in doing so, it leaves something behind. Not urgency, not hunger, but depth. And I know whatever comes after will move slower because of this, because we allowed something real to arrive and complete on its own time.